result at this point to stem the bleeding. So yeah, we'll see whether Hikaru can continue his great head-to-head form there.
And we shall also see whether Ding Liren can find his form. Unfortunately, this has been the most heartbreaking storyline of Norway chess, and also
he should take heart from that. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be one-way traffic, as many might predict.
I agree, and he's got to take heart in something. So if he can dial in on his overall record against Magnus, which has been pretty good, and get a good hold here. I think Magnus knows he's on form, and everyone knows Ding Liren's struggles. Probably no one more than Ding Liren, but I don't think Magnus will be careless here. He'll make sure that he only takes the opportunities given to him. But I agree, and we're definitely not going to see a quick draw like we did in round one. So, all right, well, it looks like all the games are underway. As we've said before, this is a repeat of round one. Colors reversed. We are now in round 6 on the back half of this amazing double round robin. We do have knight f3 on the board by Alireza Firouzja, but not exactly a ready there with Carlsen. So just to shout out the inside the room conversation, Alireza Firouzja has come to this giant chessboard over here and played a practice game with his second, or done something that we've thought maybe was prep, like every day. And so today we paid special attention to the opening.
D4, E4 still available depending on what the opponent does. Ding took the center with D5, white fianchettos his bishop, and a few moves down the line, really interesting mind games here. Magnus pushes a pawn to C4, saying, okay, we might transpose to the Tarrasch if you don't kind of trade off or advance your pawn right now. If you continue developing, white could capture, push a pawn to D4 and try to change the structure. Ding says, okay, I'm feeling ambitious. That's often a good way to try to play yourself out of bad form, to at least force yourself to play the most critical continuations, D4, and we actually see the reversed Benoni pawn structure. This is an infamous structure where one side has a slightly weak pawn and the other side has taken the space, but very, very dynamic play ahead. And if we catch up with the current position, knight g5 from Magnus Carlsen, showing just as much ambition as his opponent, and f4 expanding on the king side. What do we make of this? Early developments, early surprises for both sides.
So who surprised whom? David. Because it feels like Magnus wanted to surprise Ding, and at the same time it is Magnus who has spent more time and has got this very much deep in thought posture that we can observe right now. What does that tell us? That Ding may not have predicted this opening, but he was well prepared from obviously his own experience, his own home preparation for other games perhaps, or other tournaments. What do you think?
Well, I mean, knowing Magnus pretty well, these days he relies a lot on opening theory, maybe more than he used to back in the day when he was just getting a position, just playing chess, as they say, where he would happily play these long games. These days he freestyles a bit less, in classical at least, but knight f3 on move 1, g3 on move 2. I mean, I'm semi-retired. It's my favorite way of opening a game because you don't meet any kind of direct play.
Reza has lost in this event have been because of time. But what happened here? Ding Liren blundered against Magnus
Oh
Carlsen.
no, is that the
he just
checkmate
resigned?
on the board?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, queens!
Oh my gosh.
We were looking at her. No way! We were showing that this could happen, but he blundered it. The reigning world champion blundered. Queen takes h7.
We had this tactic on the board 20 minutes ago purely for educational purposes because it was entertaining to show that this is the type of checkmate that the world champion would certainly never fall into. And it was also to highlight the key idea of why the bishop goes to d5, which you see Magnus did, put the bishop on d5, and then it happened. Gosh.
This is unbelievable. I don't think even Magnus believes that it happened, even though like that was the threat, but he plays rook e4 because that's a strong move that will bring the rook over to the king side. He wasn't playing for this trick. You don't expect your opponent to blunder checkmate in 2 moves on such a high level.
David, show us what happened.
Wow, I mean, I'm a bit in shock, a bit speechless. I was actually going to say we should switch to this game because it felt like Ding was working his way back into it. It felt like he'd fought back into the position. But yeah, let's just highlight the last 3 moves maybe because Magnus set it up. He started with, in this position, queen to h5. Black's queen retreated to the f8 square. One of many moves, and after rook to e4, I thought, okay, clearly White's intentions here are obvious. Black has to, as the blue arrow shows us here, has to play h6. And now the black queen actually defends this square. There's no way in for White, despite how attractive it looks, because White lacks a knight, and the position is still relatively blocked. I guess he would have to try to realign up on the g-file, but Black suddenly will have counterplay with rook to b2 to come next. This is a real fight. The computer says 0.0. But it went from that to checkmate in 2 moves. He played rook b2 first, same idea, wrong order, and forcing moves. That's what every player should be looking for. Queen takes h7, check, queen sacrifice, and Ding, head in hands, we saw it. He had to resign. King takes queen, rook h4, checkmate.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable. We're actually going to go to a replay.